Hey, how's it going? So I'm Ryan Hefner, and this is Jam Sessions Solo Edition. Um, actually inspired. So yeah, a little background on what this, what I'm going to be working on during this little session here. Um, Last week, I actually published a update to this npm package that I was writing called React Marquees, and I wanted to. I thought it'd be cool just to kind of explore live streaming it, try to get my head around using Ecamm Live a little bit more to understand how it works and better prepare myself to interview people and whatnot. Because I do plan on using it for interviews during regular jam sessions episodes that I plan on doing in the future. So, with that said, during that stream, um, I actually ended up, and actually, I'm going to share it right now. Let's see here. Copy the link. Um, yeah. Um, so during that stream, I was also exploring like having a Spotify jam, which is basically like a kind of like a shared audio listening experience. Um, that was cool and all. Um, but I guess I don't know. For one, it was super late, and also this is super late right now, so I don't know if anyone's actually gonna hop on this thing right now. But as cool as it was to maybe have that link, I'm not sure how discoverable it was from like a person who's discovering the stream and joining in, and whether they're really going to find the link. Um, I don't know. And then I just started to have this idea. It's like, oh, how cool would it be if, because the problem with the jams are they're kind of ephemeral. They, it's like a one-time link that you create in Spotify. You have to, yeah, you basically get that link. Maybe you have a QR code. And then if you were to stop the jam, I don't think that jam lives on. Actually, I'll have to double check. Now I just posted the link in the, on each of these streams. So we'll see what happens if you can kind of go back. Or I'm pretty sure I tried to go back and re-reference the jam previously and it was gone. But I started thinking about it. I was like, oh, that'd be cool to have essentially like an archive of the music that was listened to during the jam. I know that some people use like open or like royalty free music during their live streams and actually have that baked into the stream. But I like the idea of listening to actually the music that I'd want to listen to, and almost kind of treating it like this is like a DJ session slash coding session slash just like work on some projects. And actually I do even have it to where there is a Zoom that's available. So if anyone ends up hopping on and wants to like get in on the stream or whatever, that's available too. So I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to play with all these different formats and stuff and just try to make something cool. But back to play streams. So jams are ephemeral on Spotify. How cool would it be if with every live stream that you do, you have this associated link that is not only a live playlist that people can tune into and listen to during the stream, but also becomes a playlist that they can follow and add to their own Spotify or Apple Music. And who knows, maybe they discover a cool band or song that they haven't heard before, and now they have a reference point to that. And also kind of like from a a streamer's or podcaster's perspective, it becomes this kind of like other artifact that you can kind of share that is a personal thing. So, of course, this all spawns out of me just kind of playing around, uh, writing or like publishing that npm package and just kind of having these thoughts around this. So, of course, the first thing I do is I go and I grab or like start looking for like cool domain names that might be cool. Um, Surprisingly, actually, livestream.fm and livestreams.fm were available. So I ended up snagging those. But the thing with those are there actually already is like a live stream, and it was a company that was acquired by Vimeo. So I'm actually not sure if their trademark or any of that stuff would still be in effect right now, but I figured might as well not tread in those waters just yet. I can always use that domain if I want to rebrand this thing at a future point. So then I ended up finding playstreams.fm, and it might not be the best name, but it's good enough for now. I like the word play. I use it in a lot of different stuff. I have a podcast called All Play. I think I'm actually going to rebrand my studio called Play, like personal freelancing contracting studio as Play Nice, and some of that. So I like the name. Obviously, it's capturing both streams of it's associating a playlist, so a play stream to a stream, and yeah. So I don't know. So with that, I ended up kind of spinning up a project and created a little landing page, so you can actually go to playstreams.fm. And actually, I'll bring that up over here. Let me make sure I see where I'm at here before I start sharing that stuff. But let's see. Yeah, so if I go to well, I'm giving you a little sneak peek here. So if you go to playstreams.fm, I just created this like quick little landing page. Oh wait, why has it got the Vercel thing on there? Oh, I gotta turn that off. um so yeah, so build music playlist live that you can share with your friends. Actually, I probably want to rewrite that headline. Build like or like create real time. I don't know. I'll come up with something. But this is just the gist. So figured I'd throw a quick lander up just to kind of get something going, and then onto the actual app. What I ended up doing was, and actually, let me just hack this a little bit. I did a quick little spike of getting the it's like Spotify Auth stuff set up. So unfortunately, I don't have database set up yet, so I gotta kind of hack this stuff real quick. But it is hackable. Just gotta throw a token in the cookie. Let's see here. Refresh. So you can see I'm able to pull the Spotify profile. I'm able to pull the currently playing song. And then I just kind of threw this doodad over here in real quick. That's just a test of like, what if I was to incorporate like a QR code? So this is basically just a QR code that's being generated via a URL that's supplied via the app. So the idea is that, you could actually, upon kind of looking into some stuff more within Ecamm, they actually do allow you to have these like basically like live web pages that you can overlay the video in overlay on your video. So the next step that I'm trying to do is essentially get authentication set up, get a spot where I can store the Spotify access token, and then essentially create a like Ecamm Live page that will both display the currently playing song as well as provide a link to that play stream, or actually the play stream page for that stream, which then would kind of like allow you to bounce out to either. Right now, I'm just going to focus on Spotify just because that's like the main music app that I use. But I'm thinking a little bit longer term, it could be cool to have it to where it's like whether you use Spotify or Apple Music, essentially create playlists in both of those platforms, depending on the users. If I have an OAuth to both of those and I choose to publish to both of those, then there would be playlists available on both platforms. So kind of, this is a little scrappy prototype of what's going on, but gonna try to do this quick. I mean, if anyone has listened to the All Play podcast that I do, you know that I'm kind of bouncing around between these different ideas, and none of them. I mean, I'm kind of making progress on all of them, but slowly and chipping away at each one. This one, I think, is like a small enough scope to where I can get something in like a fully usable state and get it out. A lot of the other ones are kind of like maybe a little bit more ambitious as far as the scope or scale of the project. And I only have so much time to work on this stuff. So, I'm even obviously staying up till 12:49 and beyond trying to work on this stuff to fit it in after a day of kids and contract work and whatever else. So that's kind of where the project is at right now. I'm going to be starting on I guess I do have a database schema kind of set up. But I'm going to set up the auth stuff, the auth pages. I'm probably going to be pulling a bunch of code from some other projects and just slapping it in here right now just to get everything kind of working. And then, and hopefully in the next like 20 or 30 minutes, we'll see how far I get. It'd be cool to have essentially authentication, the Spotify auth stuff being saved and associated to the user who's logged in, and then actually, I think I'm probably just going to do a test URL, which essentially will just be like a URL that I can paste into Ecamm that will do a reverse lookup on that user and just show what's currently playing. And all the playlist stuff and everything else will be for another day, but I just want to see like what's the rendering look like on there? Like what do I have to do to get it to be like a transparent background? Because like right now with the styling system that I'm using, it sets all this stuff like at the outermost level within the next app that's being used on it. And so we'll see there. I'll probably be able to isolate that embed page to be a little bit more specific and probably get rid of or set the background color to transparent and whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So I guess I'm just going to get started. And like I said, if you happen to hop in, jump in those Spotify links and we'll hang out. And I'll try to be as mindful as I can, hopping between the different apps and views and stuff like that. So let me see what's over on the code. code side of things over here. Yeah, I probably don't want to share that. It's definitely going to be a little messy. I'm going to tell you that. I'm just going to be kind of cowboy coding some of this code from like other projects just to kind of reduce the time, and you don't see me just sitting here writing stuff. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. And it'll be interesting to see what the quality of this is looking on Twitter and YouTube, because I'm also just playing around with the Ecamm Live settings as far as video quality to frame rates and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah. So cool. And let's see, did it actually? Oh. So let me actually just for this quick test, let me see what it actually posted in the live chat. It's kind of unfortunate that the live chat stuff. Oh, I better turn that down. Well, I guess I'll just post a link to it. But yeah, the yeah, so actually I'm not sure where Ecamm sent that to. So there was a thing that said on Ecamm where you can just post a thing. It should cross post it to both YouTube and Twitter, but it doesn't look like it quite did it, or I'm not sure where it showed up. Or again, maybe those things are kind of ephemeral, those chat messages. I'm not sure. But oh no, we're just playing around. So not a big deal. All right, let's get some UI going. I need some auth stuff going on here. So hop over into the code. Yeah. Actually, let me maybe I'll try to clean that up a little bit, drop that away, go up a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit bigger. Get rid of that. That's a little bit better. So I'm let's hopefully I don't show any tokens. Let's clean this up a little bit. But thankfully nothing there. Let's see how good I actually kept stuff in environment variables. So yeah, so I have essentially two Next.js apps, which is both the site and the app. Um, my thought is that the app will be more like, actually, I'm still kind of going back and forth on what the app is be, but I think that'll be more, I guess, just really like a management experience. So like the idea that you can kind of go in and configure your profile, maybe see a history of your streams, and also configure like upcoming streams or who knows what. And obviously all the different settings to connect to Spotify and Apple Music, and who knows where else I might end up trying to see where I could try to publish this stuff too. But the idea there would be, or at least what I'm currently thinking, is there's actually in Ecamm a way to configure like Apple shortcuts to do actions based on certain actions that happen within the app. And one of those is when a broadcast starts. So my thinking is that I'll actually have some like custom Apple shortcuts that you can download. And it'll do a series of things potentially, but at the very least, it will take you to the screen, which will be like essentially like setting up a new stream. There you can see, you'll be able to see based off of the services that you've authed into, whether you have a live YouTube or a live Twitter links there, and then the ability to essentially kind of like officially start the stream. But at the same time, I'm wondering if, so I, based on the Spotify API, I actually do have access to your playing history as well as like the currently playing track. So I'm going to try to see if I can be smart and like reduce the number of stuff that people have to do to it for it to make sense. But the idea is that you hit that page, it has a reference to both the Twitter and the YouTube. So essentially it can also then post this link to this new page. Once you have it kind of configured, if you wanted to put any sort of like custom album art. But I don't know. That's getting too far ahead. But the idea is you just need to get that link either in the description or as a comment or a thread on the live feed. That way it then pushes people back to that page on the site, and they'll be able to access whichever playlist they want to go to. So, and it'll also basically be a live running playlist from when that stream started. So like whatever track you were listening to, and it will just keep appending. So whether you're listening to an actual playlist or you're listening to an album or whatever, or you just have a single song on loop, if you just want to get wild like that, that will just keep appending and appending and appending. And that will be the kind of archived artifact of the music that you listen to during the stream. So that's that. I am going to pull up the Auth service. And you see, I have some of these, some of this Open Graph stuff. I'm copying some stuff over from the Open Graphs stuff because it's kind of lining up. And so I'll update this stuff right now. But, and actually I'm doing this within the transmits. The transmits, basically the transmits monorepo. So that also has the main site API and stuff. Actually, I have a feeling that I'm probably going to break this out to a separate thing because I'm already realizing that originally I was thinking, oh, this would be cool because I know there's going to be libraries I'm going to write for transmits that I'll want to use in this site, and then I could have everything just there locally while I'm kind of developing it. But I'm realizing now that when it comes to creating libraries and wanting to make sure that like the naming is like concise, the fact that these are going to live alongside the transmit stuff, which is actually kind of like the primary focus of this repo, I'm now having to basically append play streams on the names of all these libraries and stuff so that they don't conflict with the other transmit stuff, and that looks a little gross. So I think I'm going to be moving this stuff out to something else. But let's see here. Let's in the TS config to see what these new ones are set up as. Okay. But yeah, I'm also showing a showing a little under the cover stuff for what's going on with transmits, but it's all good. Um, yeah, there's definitely going to be open source packages for transmits, both the client and some React stuff. Um, transmits is actually I can get into what it transmits is going to be, but essentially, yeah, it's basically like a place to host your audio, and not specifically for like it's kind of more like Vimeo in that regard, where it's like you could have whatever you whatever you want to post up, and and you can then choose to embed it, however you want, or have like a single one-off page that you can share with people, or do any of that kind of stuff. And then and then yeah, and then with the option of then posting it to other audio providers like Transistor or something for your podcast. But the idea is that you can kind of capture these audio notes or just capture audio in general, or some music tracks that you're listening to, or working or writing or whatever, and make it really easy to share these things with a um, via URLs instead of like relying on Dropbox or iCloud or any of these other things that a lot of times people use to share their audio files. You can use transmits, and then yeah, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be cool for like that. What I'm thinking is kind of like personal audio notes with built-in, voice to text transcription, and then like ways to be able to search across those, or um, just kind of like create these logs. And then also as a way of like staging certain ideas that then could potentially evolve and then turn into either like something that you share on a podcast, or um, something that maybe even you embed on your website, or who knows, maybe you end up having like a transmits profile that has like these like audio transmissions that that people can access or reference or subscribe to or whatever. We shall see. But so yeah, I'm doing the stuff in there right now. So let's see. I'm play users play stream. I have a module in there right now. So I'm gonna make sure if it's gonna show you all this. No, it's gonna keep you on there. That's fine. I don't want that. I don't need you right now. Um, oops. Yeah, we're getting raw on this one. I guess I don't need to worry about that right now, but I'll set it right. Um, so yeah, just porting over some. Oh, and then so I have the two Next.js apps, one for the app, one for the site, and then for the actual API, um, I'm actually using Nest, Nest JS. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about it just yet, but I do like the fact that it's kind of just like API first. Um, I don't know why. Ever since I was at Vimeo, I've kind of been like a sucker for oh, hey. Oh. Did kick out? All right. I gotta take my dog out. Classic. Um, but yeah, ever since I was at Vimeo, I just feel like everything that think about is like API first. And then you just have these kind of like clients that consume that. Um, it's one of the reasons why I don't really, I guess, I don't know. I guess I probably should just play around with it, but um, I guess that's why I don't really use like the next. I mean, I do use the Next API routes for some stuff, but I really prefer that live at like API dot your domain name. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to. This kind of sucks, but I'm gonna have to step away for a little bit. I'm not sure if I should stop the stream or just throw up a little placeholder. But it does look like there's two people here, and so if you want, I can just leave the music jamming and throw up a little screen, and then get back here in like 5 or 10 minutes. But yeah, classic 110, and I gotta take the dog out. It's like my life. I'm taking dogs out at night. See, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can. If anyone's in the chat doing anything. That's the one thing I wish this Ecamm Live. I feel like there was chat going on. No, no one's saying anything. Well, the 2 or 3 people that are on Twitter right now watching, unfortunately, I do have to take my dog out. So if you find the Spotify Jam link, I'm going to leave the music playing if you want to stick around. I'm just going to throw up some stuff. So you don't see me running around here. But and I'll mute my mic. So listen to some tunes. I'll be back in like 5 or 10 minutes. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. And then I'll get back to hopefully finishing up this auth and data stuff so I can start testing this PlayStream stuff. So if depending on when you got in, basically the gist is I have Spotify Auth showing like currently playing tracks. The goal is to actually have almost like this equivalent to like a Spotify jam, but a archival list of all the music that plays during a live stream that streamers or podcasters could use, and have that something that could just be personally manually paired with tracks as you're listening to it. But all right, I gotta take my dog out. So I'm gonna throw up a screen and I'll be back in a bit. I don't blame you if you drop. All right, later. All right, I'm back. So yeah, sorry about that. For anyone who's watching, I had to go take my dog outside real quick. Sometimes those things just pop up. So where was I? So yeah, for anyone who's hopped on, basically I'm building this thing called Play Streams. This actually was like inspired by the last streaming session that I was playing around with on here. I wanted an easy way to share the music that I was listening to. Um, and then also basically have like an archived um, playlist that could then be like re-listened to during the replays of the stream if someone was to do such a thing. I just think it's kind of like a cool format. Uh, it lets you listen to music you want to listen to without having to deal with all like the royalty stuff and copyright stuff. And yeah, so the goal tonight is I have a quick prototype where I just basically have some basic Spotify Auth stuff here, and it's showing the current playing track. Right now, this is pretty hacked in. I'm copying and pasting the access token, and then like the app is reading that from the cookie and putting it in. But if you are listening to the jam, you will see that it is updating and showing the currently playing track. Um, the one thing I am going to have to play around with, and I'm not 100% sure of whether it's going to work or not, is if I send someone to like a playlist that is associated like with my account and I'm dynamically appending tracks on there, whether they'll continue to play through or if they're going to fall into that thing where, depending on the latency of the updates going to the playlist, if they'll start to like have Spotify throw them out to some other thing, which makes me think that maybe for this to work, the streamer might have to be on like a 5-second delay, maybe. And then hopefully that's enough time for their stuff to get out and be updated. So that way anyone who's watching and listening will be able to stay in sync. But definitely not there yet. Just going to try to get authentication and the Spotify tokens saving with the user account for now. And then I'll figure out all that other technical stuff. But so yeah, let me go over here to the code and see where I'm at. Let's see. I need to get the account set up. I'm not sure what's the most interesting view while I'm just sitting here porting code over from other projects, but I don't know. I'm just trying to figure this out. What makes for a good stream? So if you do happen to have some comments, let me see if I can. I don't think Twitter chat is a thing that comes up in Ecamm Live. But like I said before, I feel like it's something that may or may not have worked during the live stream that I did with Daniel Colburn. I have to see if I can go back and look how we got some of those things. But yeah, so I'm going to be copying some code for a bit. So feel free to chime in if you want to see code windows or if you want to see terminals or where do you want to go. But I'm gonna set up some stuff so I can have some libraries to paste into over here. I'll throw you in the code for now. That's where I'm at. And actually, I guess I can do. So weird. I like totally should just be using the terminal in here, but I guess I just like to have my terminals outside of here because I like to have like multiple terminal tabs doing different stuff and split screens and different things like that. But I can do it here. So yeah, so let's see, I need a users, and I need accounts. And also, like right now, if you happen to be listening to the music, this is just from my Discover Weekly. I haven't listened to it yet, so I don't necessarily. Uh, Not all of these are going to necessarily be my true jams. Maybe I will get around to. I might switch it up to another playlist or something that's a little more my everyday listen, but I don't know. So far, it's okay for background stuff. And I just kind of have it sitting about like 50%. Um, just kind of chilling in the back there. But yeah, let's see. Accounts. Just slashing and burning over here. Sometimes that's what you got to do just to get this stuff up and running. What did I call this? I don't know if I have a client set up for play streams yet. Client play stream score. Can I throw in some migrations? Um, okay, so it likes that. Module. And definitely let me know if Playstream sounds like a good name for this thing. Playstreams.fm. Actually, you know what? I should probably even oh, I don't want that one. I'll also throw that up on the thread. I guess it's in there. All right, cool. Never mind, it auto linked. Sweet. Yeah. I'll clean up some of this other stuff, but just roughing this in. Yeah, definitely some missing dependencies. Guess I'll share those with you down here. This is actually kind of good because, so actually, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I don't think anyone was really on the stream when I said this earlier, but It's fun. Um, the this is kind of like I'm I have a NX repo set up for transmits, which is this other service slash app stuff that I'm working on. Um, right now, everything is really just working locally, and so it doesn't have any of this auth stuff set up. And actually, the API is not there. But I figured transmits will probably or play streams will probably end up using some of the same libraries that I plan on publicly releasing for transmits. But I figure I could dog food them within play streams a little bit before those are ready. And so I figured, why not just uh, build play streams within the transmits NX repo, and then that way, all of a sudden, all the dependencies and libraries that I'm building for play streams will also then feed back into transmits. So it's this kind of reciprocal loop kind of thing. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm curious. It's, for me at least, it's 1:34 in the AM. Not sure who's all on, but if people are jamming on stuff, let me know. I'm like to feel the feel of other people jamming. What's going on here? Oh, that's right. I probably need the types. Yeah, yeah. I won't. Actually, this makes it a lot easier. Not bouncing around between terminal and stuff. That's kind of what I was doing the first stream that I was doing, but now I realize I should just be working solely in cursor for now and get to deal with all that other stuff later. Now, what does this don't like? Yeah, it doesn't like the token. That's fine. Something like that. That's fine. Business service needs to be generated. So I have that. I have users. I have accounts. I need account members. Yeah, this is another thing that I always end up, or at least I've been doing lately. Everything I've worked on, I've been kind of always abstracting out the user login from like the accounts that they're associated with via account members. I don't know. I feel like just more times than not, at least from my preferred way of bouncing around or using apps, is like having a single sign in and then being able to jump around between the different accounts that you have access to. So that's just always my default when I'm setting up auth stuff. So gonna go rip some more stuff off from another project real quick. What's this auth service doing? Oh, I guess I don't have to worry about that right now. All right. Saved by the service. Um, cool. No sense in adding bloat where bloat is not required. Um, cool. So let's see what's going on here. Actually, no, I need to. I always forget that. In these NX repos, it's kind of cool. You can actually have your schema and your client um, out in these. Oh, that's what I need to do. Let's see. You can have them in a library, and then you can even have like multiple schemas within your project and target them based off of the library name, which is pretty cool. It really, that's not what I'm looking for. I just feel like it helps you break it up a little bit more, and also allows extendability in the future in the event that you actually wanna. Yeah, that'll do. In the event that maybe you end up wanting to have like multiple schemas, like one of the things I was thinking about when I was talking with Daniel Colburn during our live stream was basically having like two separate databases, like one database just for events and for the state stuff, and then another database for all your traditional, models and whatever else. I think it also makes sense if in the event that you're ever doing anything with like analytics or any sort of like maybe heavy stream data, you're going to want to probably have that off of your main stuff. So having NX set up to, I don't know, easily manage that at like a library level and then utilize those schemas and clients in whatever number of apps that you potentially spin up in your project, it could be cool. So what did I grab here? I'm just doing the service. Okay. Then what goes in the module? Although this is the one thing where it started this whole multiple apps and multiple domains being within the same NX repo gets a little funky because actually I probably want to have this be like uh Prisma client, play streams, core module. But yeah, we'll see. Um just slinging code over here, slinging code. Oh, that's right. Let me go to the. Pretty sure I set up the project to have the migrate stuff. Yeah. So essentially, I should be able to run NX Prisma, or no, not Prisma, Schema Placings Core. Core migrate, right? Or not. Oh, that's right. Next migrate. Schema place streams. Sometimes these NX commands can kind of okay. Like the ordering and stuff. Sometimes I don't know if it's just like prolonged dyslexia or the fact that it's 1:43 a.m. Sometimes get them flipped up. Cool. I think we're getting close. I think we're getting close. I think the thing we need to do now is definitely go into the PlayStreams API and add go to the app, go to the app module. We need to add the Auth controller. Let me see what that's actually called. PlayStreams Auth controller. Because I stole this from something else. Okay, it's just Auth controller. And prot. Not sure why my autocomplete's not kicking in, but okay. Let's double check this. Oh man, it's wild. I was just ping ponging between like another window. And because this thing's so zoomed up, it makes my other window look so microscopic. But man, oh man. But so much better at the same time. Um, let's get it going here. So yeah, we have a module. Yeah, we need auth controller, auth module, counts module, Prisma service. So I'm just going to grab this and just reference it. So I have a little cheat sheet. Counts module. Auth module. Don't need projects module, but we got users module. Then we got our controllers. Controller, count controller. Actually, does that one have a, what did that one end up getting copied over as? This is so hacky. This is another reason why my thoughts around PlayStack, which is like almost, I guess at this point I'm thinking it's basically like a CLI around NX, but the idea is that it's both libraries and commands that you can run to like quickly scaffold this stuff in. And so obviously you don't have to do all this kind of hacky shit. It's accounts controller. But accounts. Duh. But yeah, the goal is to basically get to what I feel like is like an ideal state within one of these projects and start ripping out libraries and abstracting them to like accept either modules or configurations to make it to where whether it's dependency injection, passing in certain things that are relevant for the different modules, or setting up some sort of config that can reference and then kind of piece together all this stuff would be cool. I guess I could also, this is all this stuff is also kind of ephemeral because the idea is that I could scrap all this stuff and actually just go back to building Laravel stuff like I used to do on my projects. But the caveats there is, and I could still do this too, is before I was building like both the marketing site and like the app code and everything else, and having the database all bundled in like one VPS. And that has kind of burnt me over the years. And so I guess for all my client stuff and small personal stuff, I've been using so much React and Next that's kind of my preferred way to write front ends. And so that's even why this is basically just like an exploration on what's like my preferred stack. The one I will say, I like Next. I like the configurability. Like, I like the fact that the API is literally like this is the app. You have a main thing here. You can kind of set up some basic stuff and configure like enable cores, the port, and then everything runs. Everything just goes to the app module. Here's where you basically expand things to where you can have different modules and controllers and services. And then from there, it's on the controllers themselves. So the fact that these things are living out in libraries, I just like the kind of like consolidation of all this stuff. And maybe not consolidation is the word, but compartmentalization of all this stuff. And then at the same time, just have like a really easy place to toss this stuff in and expand out on the app. So it's good, but at the same time, it can be a little bit verbose with all the fact that for most features, you do need like a service, a module, and a controller. Really, the controller is only if you have routing to it. You can get away with actually having some things just as like a module and a service, but you pretty much need those two files. So, yeah, the stuff you got to do. Oh, that's app controller. Do I not have it? Oh, I don't have accounts in here yet. All right, we'll get those in. No, I do. Just put it in the wrong import. Accounts service. Let's pluralize. Plural. Oh. Also, let me know if this is even remotely entertaining. I'm quite shocked that I even have 9 people here at 1:52 a.m. just hanging out. Feel free to drop something in the chat or whatever. I might also change up the music here because I'm not sure where this stuff's drifting off to. This is the one thing about Ecamm too, which is kind of weird. For my code view, I'm sure it's probably just because it's in like a different setup. The actually no, I'll hang out. There's some good tracks coming up. I have it locked to arc or to like cursor, but when you change spaces, somehow that setting gets flipped and then it just starts showing whatever. So if you too are streaming and bouncing around on spaces and think you're not sharing potentially private information in like the app that you decided to full screen and throw into another space and then you pan over to it, you're going to be sharing some stuff. Unless there's just some setting I don't know how to set in Ecamm to prevent that from happening. But everything's a work in progress. So we have our Prisma. Index. And then what do we call that? Cool. Yeah, you can see in this one I have some Sentry stuff set up in here too. But this is pulled from another project that's kind of in the works. Open graphs. The I'd say that one is actually further along. The one thing that I don't even know why I'm struggling with it, but trying to deploy that one to render. And for whatever reason, it just either doesn't like the NX stuff. I mean, I had a quick proof of concept working in render from an NX repo. Maybe I should just redeploy that old one and just see like what configuration I have wrong. But for whatever reason, it's like either running out of memory when it builds. So then I ended up upgrading to the performance plan, and then it was building and doing everything fine, but then for whatever reason, it's not starting the service or like can't find the port. And when I play around with like when I move certain commands to like the build command, I see everything's working fine, but like literally, like the build is yarn install, NX build, whatever the service is or app. And then the start command is NX start, app. So edge or whatever. Um, in the case that I'm trying to do with open graphs. And so annoying. It just doesn't want to build in any way. And so now I'm like paying for subscriptions and performance builds so I can get extra RAM, and it's still not working. And so I think I'm going to have to check out different services. The thing with open graphs is it actually uses some like longer running processes that could go beyond the limits of like what Vercel has for like their serverless functions or like their lambdas. So this is one of the reasons why I was looking at using something like render to do the API and this like edge service. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to have those things run in there, maybe I'll also just test out running the next apps or clients as well. But it's not looking like too hot. So if anyone has any render experience deploying to render, and ideally, I think it's definitely, I don't know if it's an NX issue or what, but something's not going right. Sweet service. All right, so we have auth controller. Let me make sure that doing what it's supposed to. It's got all the getting a little loose with some of the types too. Those will be buttoned up. Okay, that looks good. Auth service. Here's really the heart of it. Uh, Put that under types. Okay. Not really a type, but that'll work. Create the little new thingamajigger. Can't type. None. Sure. Yes. I don't think I'm really gonna be running tests on types, but it'll be something. So where did they put that? I didn't like that command. All right, time to. Sometimes that can happen from time to time when you're running these NX things a little loosey goosey. Make sure I clean up after myself here. Types play streams. You're not where you want to go. So let me do it again. It's because I didn't actually write directory, I think. Libs, play streams, types, yes. Okay. There we go. Should have. All right. Third time's the charm. I know I'm going to want to use types as the true transmits type. So I'm going to namespace that types. Because I don't want that to be the primary one. So I did do that, huh? All right, there. There it did. Okay. Yeah, third time's a charm. Do. I'm not sure what it's complaining about, but sometimes it gets weird like that. All right, now, where was I where I needed the auth service? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to create a quick React lib. Um, this will essentially have the UI for the auth stuff. I just have like a really generic login and sign up screen. So it can be right. The bundler. Again, this is one of those things that I plan on having as like a really just a package from PlayStacks, and then similar to in Laravel, how you can kind of like eject out views and stuff, have like underlying views that just work out of the box with the auth libraries and the API, but allows for like the customization of it. So as much as I don't know why I'm on the fence on like some of the, well, not really on the fence, but I feel like there's times when components need to be like left in the library and not ejected out into your code. But this is a spot where you're definitely going to want to customize these views. So I'm always on the fence on like the UI stuff where it's just like ejects it out and like basically CLIs and injects these components into your project. And I got all this extra code to manage where like old school, well, Chakra UI 2.0 or 2X. Uh, so nice. It kind of abstracts a lot of that stuff. You just work with the imports and then like styling out at the theme level via like style configs and stuff. It's kind of nice, but everyone's moving to the CLI stuff. So I think at some point, I need to go with like the Radix ShadCN approach and brush up on my tailwind shorthand. But I'm getting there. So over here in the other project, grabbing stuff real quick. And I hope this is like interesting. This is definitely, I didn't think it was going to be taking this long. I'm in this thing kind of deep, but I at least want to leave with something. So, gonna see where we net out here. Ideally, the goal is to get authentication set up, auth token, saving to the database, a URL to a page, and then the best thing will be I actually just embed or update my eCam view to essentially render that overlay in the live stream so you can see what current tracks are playing. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Just ripping stuff out and pasting it in. This is actually where probably the most dependency cruft is going to come in. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay. Forgot that that's how I set that up. So I'm going to have like the whole provider thing. Yeah. Fun. Well, it's going to happen anyways. Might as well happen now. So I'm going to create the two libraries I'm going to need for that. Sure. But you know what? That's not, is it gonna, this is the same thing I just did last time, right? Yeah, I don't want that. Okay, take two. Get the namespaces thing. There we go. Cool. And I also need, yeah, actually, if I was going to be publishing these packages, I'd be wanting to specify a bundler and potentially the CSS stuff. But what I found is actually the more libraries that you have as there's bundles, it's like it's just the more time it takes for the initial like pre-builds with NX, because essentially if you have an app that relies on a library that's buildable, um, it actually has to build all those libraries first and then build the applications. Where if you know you're not going to be publishing it, there's really no need to build it, and it should reduce your um, application like build times and hopefully save you some minutes on your pipelines. But all right, so hit a client. I'm just gonna it's really just slash and burn. And actually, I don't know if anyone's been up on some of the um, some of the drama around ship fast and some of that stuff, but hopefully I'm not making too bad of like gross security mistakes as I'm writing this stuff. I feel bad for the dude. I feel like he's getting flamed a little too hard. Hopefully he's taking it good. Hopefully he's just out surfing. That's what I'd be doing. Letting the waves wash the pain away. Oh yeah. Keep it for you. Keep it for you here. It's probably gonna complain about types, so I think I've heard this cover. Snail mail. You're seeing it at all. If anyone wants to chime in on the chat, I'm curious if you're actually listening to the music at all, following that Spotify link, and then in on the jam. Actually, is there a way for me to tell that? Invite friends to your jam. Oh, maybe I should uncheck that. If you were in there making changes, I mean, I'm not going to fault you, but yeah, I'm not sure if people are actually jamming or not. They're just hearing me. I'd be jamming. Okay. Solving. Did I do something wrong here? A JS cookie. Um, and like I said, this is just really just getting it in there. I'm not sure what I'm going to have to do when I need to start adding some environment variables. I might have to throw up a different view there for a little second. Hope that I don't. Oh, I see. So that ES interrupt. True. All good. All good. Cool. 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 Live coding at its best, or worst, depending on your thoughts on it. But we're making progress. Now I'm gonna grab all the React stuff that I wrote for this other project real quick. This is also a little bit of proof that I actually am doing work on this other stuff, even though it might not be completely apparent. I don't need to rename that. I want to delete it. Yeah, I got hooks and everything. Rename. I do think this would be. I don't know if I've seen like I don't know if Play Streams is the right service to potentially take this on, but it doesn't seem like there's a really great way to kind of like share the fact that you're live or streaming um on like either YouTube or Twitter outside of like YouTube or Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. Could even be cool to where like this is like a little embed that on your site, like whenever a play stream goes live, it just ends up creating like a little toast that can drive people to that link, which then obviously has access to the music and then links to either Twitter or YouTube, wherever you want to watch it. Just riffing. Sure. Maybe I'll just do a find and replace here. Should have been probably doing that all along. All right, pretty straightforward. Except for that still transmits. Client play streams. Okay. Got some menus in there. We'll clean those up. Just gotta hack it in. So we're at. Man, are people still hanging out? Oh, there's even a new dude or dudette. Welcome. 2:21 in the AM, just throwing some code around, trying to get this some auth set up. Yeah. Where was I? Okay, so let's go back to the app. Also, yeah, I'm like, I'll probably convert at some point, but for some reason I'm still holding on to the page router. I think it's part the UI library that I normally use for stuff, Chakra. You just have to basically everything ends up being a used client. So it's like at a certain point, like what's the point? But yeah, I'll eventually get to it. Just and then it makes it hard to just kind of like build stuff. Running all these weird build issues. So we got the provider. We'll wrap that in. We pass a client. Not sure which order is going to make sense for this yet, but Well, that'll be good for now. Oh, actually, yeah. So we pass the user and the URL. That makes sense. Could pass a client, but we'll let the and the user, which we're going to get from the page props. Oh, caps. And the URL is actually which is like the API URL. That would be an environment variable, but I am not opening that file right now. Cool. And then I need to set up the page props. This means I need to pull in next props. Then I have with auth coming from there. All right, cool. So we have our index page. Yeah, I guess for anyone who's still happen to be using the next pages router, I wrote this npm library called what is it? Next proper. um, and it makes it really easy to compose these like your server side handlers. So essentially, what it does is creates like a series that goes through, and then within each of these handlers, you can then basically build up the props that you want to end up passing to the page. So this is coming from the with auth. It's coming from the auth UI because that's a prop handler from there, which is React specific. Okay. Now I need to have. Sorry, I just hit the mic for anyone who heard that. Create my login .tsx and just gonna can just rip all this stuff. See what I don't have. So we're good there. So that's transmits. I might have to update that library naming. Play stream React. Is that right? React play streams. And it's these play streams. We'll set up our register page. Again, all this stuff's kind of heavy work in progress, but it will get cleaned up before it really goes live. Transmots, transmits. I mean, it is kind of crazy that I'm going through all this trouble just to set up Auth when in Laravel you can just basically include the packages that just do this, but and it even, like I said, spits out the blade templates and everything for this. But this is what we get for having JSX. Okay. Oops. Got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Actually, not too bad. Also said, I mean, a lot of this stuff is setting up stuff for the long run. So it's good. I also need those same server-side props or on the login page, and actually probably the register page too, because I want to have it to where essentially what this auth prop will do. I'll show you when I get over there to it. But what it ends up doing is, obviously checking whether you're authenticated or not and redirecting to the appropriate places if you are or are not authenticated. And so it does that server side. So hopefully, you're not going to end up on a page and then see something and then get redirected. It's all server side goodness. Oh yeah. I was like, why does this song sound familiar? Before the stream, I was like kind of just doing a little preview of my Discover Weekly. I don't think I've ever heard this band, and for whatever reason that track got me. But it came out in May 15th. Let's see what their new one sounds like, huh? Again, if you're not listening to the jam, sorry. I'm going to be referencing tracks and stuff that you might not realize what's there. Okay. I feel like we're pretty close. The one thing that I need to do though, play stream provider. I can't resolve that, so I need to run that as well as the play streams API. Let's see if this boots up right. We're close. You're going to see some of that. Yeah. A few little imports here and there. Should be easy enough to find. Doesn't like that. That's cool. That is play stream. Or users play stream? What did I do that? Yeah. And client play streams core. I feel like with every iteration, you end up coming with different ways of consolidating or standardizing. I like the idea of clients always being able to clients, and then the app and core is actually what I was kind of getting at with being able to have multiple data sources. So this is obviously the core database. If there was like another database that's doing logs or analytics or events or something like that, you kind of namespace it, but at least you're kind of going like outside inish, even though the client is technically a feature of play streams, but I also think it's kind of like the generic thing, and then you get more specific. At least that's where my head's at right now. That methodology might end up changing. Yeah, that's fine. That's just some comment out stuff. We got our play streams client. What did I call that? Oh, because it's not. That's why. Actually, I should have that fallback. So yeah, see if you with auth. Let me see. Let's do this. And we'll add this to the options. So we'll create some options for this actually. This is one of the things I like about uh, this like next props system is it's really easy to kind of configure it however you want. So for instance, I'm going to do with auth props, and it's going to set the API URL, and it will be a string. Actually, this will be options. And then so yeah, with this, you can essentially, so then I have it here. So if you pass it in directly versus relying on the environment variable, the only downside is essentially what you're going to have to do is override it here. Obviously, once I go in and start doing the actually want to open the environment variables. I will get rid of this, but just for now, this is a way that you could do it. So I got those in the 3 pages where I need it. Cool. What other open graph stuff am I referencing here? It's client stream score. And okay. I don't think I'm going to show anything here. Here's my client play streams. Is it going to pick it up? This is the one thing that I've been having a hard time getting to work right is in order to do these kind of like named namespace clients, you set this output and then you specify the path to the packages or to the package that Prisma creates within the node modules. But for whatever reason, sometimes it feels like I have to, man, I really missed. Oh, that's that external file. We can get rid of that. We don't need you anymore. To get rid of it. Oh, I opened it here too. It don't save. I don't know. Let me just run NPI or Prisma again. Or let's see, what was it? Migrate. Play streams. Too many packages. Yeah, maybe it's a downfall. Maybe that's schema play streams core. Similar to clients. Client. Is it going to do it? Migrate command is successfully run. No migrations to run, so migration has not been created. Yet it still doesn't seem like it's outputting the client. What is that Prisma command? Prisma. Oh, we got to change this music up. Not as good as that one other track. Generate. Oh, yeah. see. NX there. Schema, play streams, core. Actually, no, client. Because even that one should be that. Let's see. That's Prisma. Generate. Yeah. Yeah. I think. I think I have to dig into that. I think I have to add the schema. Load/play streams/ schema streams core/schema. That's a mouthful. That's the output. It's core. Oh, Prisma. Yeah. Rethink this one. What? Oh, did I not? It's under Prisma. Do I probably should change that at some point, but for now, it kind of makes sense. Maybe. Schema play streams core. Schema play streams core. Let's just see if we don't pass the schema. Or did I do that up there? Oh yeah. They complained about it up there too. What am I doing wrong? This is just coding. Sometimes stuff just works out. Sometimes you gotta play around with it. What am I doing wrong? Generates. I thought I did this. I guess see what happens with the next migrate. Oh, wait, that was actually two commands I had there. Does migrate work? Yeah, migrate works. Uh, this might be the just sets up a directory within there. I think it should map fine. I don't think you need to do that. I should basically kind of create like a, I guess easiest way to do that would be to actually see what's happening in the node modules. Maybe I messed it up. At one point, it definitely created this here. I must have blew it away. I think I need to do the migrate again. Let's see what what command I need to run. Ay, ay, ay. I think it was generate that I ran. I have to look in my. Look at my command history real quick. Next run schema playstreams core migrate Prisma generate. I think this is what I ran. Oh, I ran it with Prisma, not with the NX. That's actually, yeah. That is what I ran into yesterday. I wonder if there's a way I can just update the project to do that so I don't have to do that every single time. Basically, what is it? To generate? Just slap this on it. Kind of stinks that it's kind of have to like define that in two spots, but at this point it's not changing for this one until I refactor, and then I have to remember to come in here and so let's see if that actually works. NX generate schema play streams core. Oh, oh, run Schema, play streams, core, generate. Oh, whatever. This works. Oh, that did it resolve the input and import? Yeah, because I don't think I shouldn't be in here adding a subpath to the package. The real test is, did it put it here? I swear this was working yesterday. Because I thought I'd cracked the case. Oh, it's throwing it. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. So the output's wrong because it's not going up. So it needs to go up. What levels of this now? It's 4. See if this does it. I'll get rid of this. That's just bad news. Let's see if this does it. Node modules, Prisma, client, play streams. Where was the module that had it? It maybe did it. I guess it was actually in this client right here, right? No. Oh, this is the test. I don't care about that. Let's see. Oh, that's the. I need to go to Prisma. I need to collapse some of this stuff. What do you got going on here? Play streams. I'll go to Prisma. Prisma service. Prisma client play streams. Cool. Yeah. All right. Is this going to work? Is this going to work? Moment of truth. Ish. Uh, Open graphs provider. Thought I got rid of all this stuff. Make sure I have everything saved. That probably was it. Missing a few. Grab a few extra imports just because of my over early optimistic thing about some of these passport things. We'll get it all worked out. See where all of our clients are living. So yeah, so this is play streams. But now it's not seeing it again. Yeah, this is where this custom output thing, I just feel like it's backfires. Try to generate it again. Or it's just the TS config is just not. No, it doesn't like it. Not sure if this is a build thing or a. Users module. I still got some dumb stuff in here. How did that not come up? I have what's this called? Oy, it's gross. That will need to be adjusted. Not feeling that one. What else do I got here? Yeah, it's just that generated stuff. Let's see here. If I do it again, is it going to do it? It says it does. Sorry, I'm doing some stuff. Oh, I'm basically trying to spin up the 3 services. So NX has a way to where, okay, it might be working. Maybe, I think every time I do a yarn, I think I'm going to have to regenerate the client. And account create input. That makes sense. And we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Should do this. What does it want? It wants username. Because I thought the other thing I was using, slug, made sense, but I think for an account, a username makes sense. So I kind of modified the scheme a little bit. And so that is old stuff that I don't need anymore. And then there's some other old stuff that shouldn't get in the way. Okay. We're almost at the moment of truth here. Man, it's 3:00. I'm probably gonna have to wrap this up pretty quick, but I at least want to try to get Auth and then a really kind of early gut check on what it's going to take to get the Ecamm Live like plugin overlay thing working. And then I feel like I'll actually be able to sleep tonight. So let's see here. So I run my tracks. I'm gonna have to update that on the update that. No, account name is fine. Think it don't like it. Sign up. Actually, let me make sure the actual API service is spun up. It may not have. Yeah, because that auth service thing. Well, no, it's complaining about not being able to. What's it complaining about? All right, let me generate this thing again. Is the NX not finding it? Does it exist? This is annoying. Play streams, yes. Is there something about the way that NX is? It's looking for CJS. Create use. There. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's trying to load a CJS? Ah, man, so close to trying to get this done, but classic fashion. All this stuff ends up taking longer. 2.5 hours. Wow. I hope this is interesting for the 10 people that are in here. um, I haven't seen anything in the chat, so maybe this is therapeutic or those are just bots. I'm not sure. We'll see how this goes. But you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna figure out this. It's there. It is there. Why is it not finding it? Oh yeah, I probably should I can at least show you the fact that this let me change over to the browser. So we actually do have login and sign up, and if I do try to go to the root, it will kick you back to login. Sign up is there. Um, so at least the auth checks are working. It's just that Prisma, that like custom named Prisma client. There's like part of me that just wants to hold the line and actually power through figuring out why that's not working. And then there's another part of me, it's just like, I don't have another schema. Well, I guess I do have this client. What's this client? Although I don't think I have this Prisma API client. I don't think this is really doing anything. Yeah, I think I just created that and I never did anything with it. I don't really have another schema in here. Oh, I do. I have an API, libs API schema. Oh, then this is where I was also trying to. Let's see what happens when I run this thing. API schema, Prisma, schema.prisma. Now that's a more manageable directory path right there. Ah, I see. Yeah, I haven't added any actual models. For the sake of this, I will just add the ones that I have over here. Because really, I'm going to probably end up having the same stuff. Except because this is SQLite, it's going to complain about that JSON. So we'll just change it to Postgres. And yeah, it has that. And actually, oops. Let's see. Why is my linting all jacked up? Nope, something else to fix. So now if I generate node modules Prisma client API, although it didn't. NX. Migrate. API schema. Did it make it? I don't think it made API. Oh, is this one of the, this is probably one of those things where it's not going up enough levels. Is it going up too many? I hear. Should be right. Yeah, it's like custom output thing is kind of annoying. Again, another reason why I probably should just break these up, and if I start sharing stuff, just get on using Yelk and actually publishing these transmit libraries that aren't even really there yet. I mean, they kind of, there's clients and stuff. Yeah, this is annoying. I might just have to leave it here. It's 3:15. Some real troopers who stuck around for this one. Hopefully, this was somewhat entertaining. I wish I had the payoff of getting the login working, but it just doesn't like those custom clients. You know what? I'll just abort the custom client thing. Pretty sure if I just comment this out, regen that stuff. I'll bring it back over to the code view so you can at least see what I'm hacking on over here. And then go to our really verbose. Actually, that's not that verbose. All right, so it generated that, and then I just have to find Prisma client and make sure that I just remove the. Or is it just going to do it? Is it going to somehow work? Let's see. Yeah, chances are I'm just going to migrate this over to a new NX repo. No big deal. That'll be a tomorrow thing, but I'm going to get this thing working now. These are the trials and tribulations of the coder's life. But actually, I mean, it's not that bad. Just some head trauma. Oh, yeah. It does require a JWT key that I will also just hard code in there for now. JWT. Yeah. All right. All right. API is up. Might be a payoff after all here. Let's see. I'll get you back over to the browser. So I am running. My account will be, I'll update the username at some point. Work. Hmm. Oh, maybe some of my other earlier ones. Let's see here. Ah, all right. One of my earlier requests somehow saved, but so note to self, handle reg errors in UI. Because yeah, this is still early days here. I guess let's try it again. It's making the user. Oh, it's not making the account. What does it not like? Account create. Oh, why doesn't it like account set to auto ID, auto increment, external ID. Auth service. Huh. Account services that create, just takes the account create input. What does it not like? Do I not have a default set up in the schema or something? Hmm. What ID does it not like? Guess I should probably look and see if I'm looking for slug anywhere. Maybe that's where it's. Hmm. Oh, that should be fine. Oh, this is what you end up getting when you just copy and paste this stuff in. Varying discrepancies between projects and stuff, and then you finding the needle in the haystack. I feel like it's close. It's definitely creating the user. It's just kind of barfing when it's trying to create the account. And I don't know why there's no reason why it should be. It should be defaulting to an auto increment. What is it not like? Maybe I need to regenerate the schema since I'm not doing that. I only generated the client, I didn't migrate. Is that what it is? A schema, play streams, core. Actually, I need to just probably reset. Here, I'll bring you back over to the code so you can at least see what I'm doing. let's just run the reset. So I think I can schema place team score reset. Let's do that. No, maybe I'll just specify the schema path. And I'll just do it direct with Prisma. Migrate, reset, schema, libs, base streams, or no, Prisma, schema, base streams, core, Prisma, schema.prisma. Um, I think I'm just going to have to expand some of these commands. Let's do a reset. When in doubt, hack it out. Mm. Oh yeah, didn't mean that. Migrate reset. And spell migrate right. Next, migrate reset. Now see, I think this is where things get see if it actually reset everything. Okay, looked like that worked. Okay. Oh, that's why I don't. That's why I didn't have that on the register one. Well, that doesn't make sense. Man, what is it not like? Prisma service account create null constraint violation on fields ID. Let's trace what this thing is doing. Creates the user, creates the account, send that to username. The only thing I could think of is if console debug user somehow wasn't getting a user. And then I'm not sure why there's nothing special with the account model. I mean, it's setting the default auto increment, so there'd be no reason why that's a required input for the account service. I mean, I guess, let's see. I see the user being entered. Oh, that is kind of interesting. What's going on with the register field? The register page is using the sign up form. Should be passing in name. Oh, I'm just not passing name to the. That's all that is. That's why that's blank. Okay. So I probably got to delete this one. Send this one off again and see what happens. What is it logging? Just shut it down, spin it back up. Maybe it's complaining about the Prisma client again. No? API launched. JSON web token error. Probably. I should be looking at those constants, right? Where are all those being used? Hmm. Let's see. Oh yeah, take you to the browser view. Hmm. Oh, that's because. Oops, I'll refresh. That user already existed, I think, after I tested that last time. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's just on the account create. Exhilarating. This is super annoying. Let me make sure schemas aren't getting somehow crossed. No, it's an int. It's an int. Some sort of weird. I guess one thing to look at too is, yeah, I'm getting the name now. So we know it's going through the right service. Because that's the only one I updated. Hmm. Although, wait, is this right? Oh, you know what? Ay, ay, ay. All right, I'm a dummy. This is what you get for, this is what you get for working on stuff across multiple days and then forgetting what you did. So if I have schema, play, streams, core, and that's dev, and then I want to do a name, and then that schema I do not care about. This schema I do. And I think I need to create a new migration. Update schema. Is this going to work with the NX command, or is it going to be? Set up account users. It's not quite right. Something is not quite right. I think I know what it is. I think I know. Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense. I think I need to look at what's the migration doing? Yeah, there needs to be an updated. Yeah, this thing is not. It's not picking up some changes. The migration there's a new migration that needs to be ran or created. It's dev name update schema libs prisma schema play streams core prisma schema.prisma. Can I specify migrate? Can I specify the M? I probably need to throw the environment variable on the front. Yeah. Actually, for now, I can just probably makes sense just to have this thing sitting right next to it. I think that makes sense. Let's see. Let's just run that same one. Where's the environment? Oh, because I'm not in PX. Let's try this then. NX run schema play streams core migrate name update schema. There we go. Ay, ay, ay. There we are. And hopefully the payoff. For anyone who's sticking with me, you're real troopers. Hopefully you're digging this Springsteen track. Still spinning up. What's going on? Just slow. Oh, do I need to delete stuff? I do need to delete stuff. Oh, yeah. Can't believe I didn't notice that schema. Being out of date with the database. Bam. Okay, cool. Jesus. All right. Get rid of that. Ooh. Oh, it's not right in the hmm. Okay, okay. Move that. At this point, I think I should be able to. Oops. Yeah, okay. Login works. Might not be. Okay, so this is the. Man, it's 4 o'clock. Ay, ay, ay. I gotta. I gotta get to bed. Um. So yeah. So I'm gonna do this next part tomorrow. The goal is to essentially. Actually, I mean, I already do have this working. So for anyone who's on the stream who's curious, you can authenticate with Spotify and come back. Um, Obviously, that shouldn't be happening, so I'm going to look in to see what's going on there. Um, but I am getting a token that you just can't see. So I'm just not. The problem is I'm just not saving that yet. So I need to set up a table to store those Spotify tokens in. Um, and basically, once I have that, again, I'm not sure why it's kicking me out each time. That seems messed up. Definitely not having any other apps, but once it's authenticated, it will get the current playing track, and then I will make the plugin. So today I got Auth-ish. I'm gonna get at this again tomorrow, and I'm gonna get this Spotify plugin thing working, and then from there, um, obviously fix some of these issues that I'm having with stuff not sticking around. And it's probably just a configuration thing. I'm probably just missing something that is set in an environment variable over in another project that I just haven't added to this one yet. I'm going to get that resolved so that way, obviously, authentication is sticky. Figure out where I want to throw these OAuth tokens. Actually, if anyone has any suggestions on how they do it, I assume I'll probably have it to where it's like essentially some sort of just OAuth token table and then specify the provider as like a string. So, for instance, Spotify associated to the user, and then just have the token and basically just the response from the OAuth. So I have everything. as a JSON column. But if anyone thinks that that's not the way to go, let me know. And yeah, hope this has been somewhat entertaining. Just jamming around, slinging code. Um, it's kind of funny. I think the whole three app, three different apps within the one mono repo, I think it does end up creating some potential unnecessary complications, but I also do think that it can future proof some stuff down the road. I guess that's assuming that this sees the light of day uh, and that it gets to the point to where there's like enough traffic hitting all these different things to where having all this stuff kind of fanned out across different services and different servers and stuff makes sense. Um, so yeah, hopefully this is informative. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. Hopefully you're listening to tunes. I might just leave this if anyone's into this playlist or listening to it. I don't know if it tells you if people are actually listening to this thing or not. I'm not sure. But I can leave it jamming for y'all. And then I mean the now playing is pretty responsive. That's actually right now I'm polling every X number of seconds to get that. I would like to figure out a more efficient way because I'm not sure if I'll have to look into the API requirements or restrictions on Spotify's thing, but I definitely don't want it to where it's like I'm eating up all my requests just sitting there polling for current playing status. It'd really be cool if they had more of like a webhooks or some sort of like pub sub thing that would push out that stuff. And who knows, maybe that API exists, but I haven't found it yet within their documentation. So, um, that'll be cool if I could figure that out. So yeah, a lot of stuff. I feel like there's a lot of pieces and parts, still more pieces and parts to throw into this thing and then start shaping it and turning it into what it's supposed to be, which for anyone who got on the stream a little later, basically it's going to be a couple different parts, but the idea is that the music that's playing in the background for me is being written to a playlist that can then be archived and referenced later. The service will then have basically a link to both the streams, whether that's on X or Twitter and YouTube, as well as the playlists that may exist in either Spotify and or Apple Music, and as well as probably the whole track listing there, so you could kind of like jump around and check stuff out. With the goal that people both listening to the live stream or watching it, the archive version could also pull up the playlist and play that and discover some new music while you're doing it. And then icing on the cake is Ecamm Live has a way of having a web page as an overlay on top of your stream. So I plan on making a page that essentially is like a public facing page that can be consumed with Ecamm, since there actually is no way to authenticate via the widget page that's overlaid. So essentially, when you go live on play streams, I need to create some sort of unique URL that Ecamm can use for the overlay that doesn't require authentication, but still knows which user it is, which stream it is, what track is currently playing, and the QR code will then be a link to that stream's kind of like public page. So that Ecamm thing will probably just be like another like sub directory off of that stream page, which will then be styled and formatted to look good within Ecamm. I'm going to see if there's I assume there's probably a similar capability in OBS Studio, which would be cool. And then have basically like two different streaming clients that could consume those things. And then, yeah, I guess I'll go from there. But that's just a little wrap up. I can't believe it's 4:05, but I guess this is also what you end up getting when you try to start coding at like 11:30, and then also your dog has to go out and some other stuff. So, um, although I do think the stuff is in like a decent shape, again, the login stuff, I'll figure out why it's not sticky. I'm sure it's probably just some sort of environment variable missing. And then I might do a little bit of work on some stuff just to ease it in before I do the next stream, but gonna end it here. And thanks thanks for jamming with me. Hopefully it was somewhat entertaining, and I'll see you on the next one. All right. Later.